3, 2, 1.
Assalamualaikum to all of you. First of all, we were given assignment for the subject English Proficiency 2, Group AG. I would like to introduce myself and my group mates. We are from group number 10. Couple took on a society team that carried the title The Causes of Adolescent Drugs Addiction and How to Overcome It. I'm Nur Atira binti Muhasan. My metric number is 281967, which will begin this discussion. I hope you are all excited and take a little info on drugs. Do you know what those drugs means? Drugs is a substance or chemical that is extremely harmful to the individual who use it because it changes the way the human mind and body function. A lot of drugs related are always in the news. When we just hear the word drug, we will continue to think of the types of drugs such as marijuana and heroin. But in fact, there are thousands of these types of drugs around the world that are used by approximately 200 million people for various purposes. According to the Dewan Bahasa English Dictionary, the meaning of the word drugs means vaccine. However, to define drugs abuse, the word use, misuse, or abuse must be used in conjunction with the word drug. For example, drug abuse or misuse of drugs, which means drugs abuse. Drugs is a special term that refers to a type of substance that is harmful to a person's health in terms of physical, mental, and emotional as well as consumer behavior when used. As a result of this effect, a person who abuses the drugs will become addicted and will continue to depend on it for life. Without realizing it, we ourselves may have used some type of drugs in our life. Medicines such as paracetamol and antibiotics help heal you if you are unwell. Tea, coffee, and chocolate also contain a stimulant drugs known as caffeine. But stimulant drugs like this do not result in problematic addiction to the individual, society, and country. Therefore, the use of this beverage and food is not illegal. However, some types of drugs are drugs that are prohibited because these drugs causes addiction and health, socio-economic problems, and so on. Therefore, the Malaysian government has listed these drugs in the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 to prohibit the cultivation, production, distribution, import, export, possession, and abuse of such drugs. Types of drugs such as cocaine, marijuana, heroin, shabu, and ecstasy are taken to change your feelings and truths. These drugs are also known as abuse drugs. Do you know how to use drugs? Drugs are used by a variety of methods. There are a six ways of drugs use. Drugs use can be through inhalation, injection, smoking, ingestion, absorption through paste on the skin, suppositories, and dissolving them under the tongue. Today, adolescents must know the types of drugs. There are many types of drugs from those that give moderate to severe effect. You know the types of drugs. Here I want to tell you about some types of drugs that we need to know. Drugs can be divided into several types as follows. There are 5 types of drugs, namely, let's get to know one by one the types of drugs. First drug is opiate. Opiate drugs are derived from the poppy plant. Rubber is extracted from poppy, then dried and processed into opiate drugs, namely opium, morphine, and heroin. Second is cannabis. Cannabis is a general term used for all types of drugs derived from the cannabis sativa tree. The types of drugs under cannabis is marijuana and hashish. 3 is desperation. Desperation is a type of sedative. These drugs are listed as barbiturate and non-barbiturate hypnotic types as well as sedative. 4 is stimulant. Stimulants are psychoactive chemicals that stimulate the activity of the central nervous system. There are 2 types of stimulants. namely amphetamines or amphetamine type stimulant ATS and cocaine. Lastly is hallucinogen. Hallucinogens are a types of natural and synthetic drugs that alter sensory perception. It changes the visual view and causes illusion, so that it is difficult to distinguish truth and false. The types of hallucinogen, namely lysergic acid diethylamide (LSD), mescaline, and psilocybin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amirul Eliman bin Muslimin, number matric 277523. Today I'm going to present about causes of adolescent drugs addictions. Number 1 is the curiosity. The curiosity is kind of emotion or feeling that we want to know something new or something that's surrounding us. So as we're getting older and older, more new things that we want to know. In the age of the teenagers, the curiosity increase very high. So as a teenagers, they want to know something that they doesn't have seen before. They want to do something that they haven't do it before. So as a parents and the elders, we need to guide them. We need to guide them to get to know the good things and show not to guide them to the bad things, because there's something new that they learn have a good side and a bad side. So as a parents, we are responsibility to guide them to the good side. Secondly, lack of love. We're going to talk about the family. So usually the teenagers that involved into the drugs are come from less fortunate family or poor family, but we also can say that the teenagers that involved into the drugs also come from parents that pay less attention to their children. Because of what? Because of busy of the work, so they don't have enough time or don't have enough time to listen to their children's problems, then don't have enough time to spend with their children. Because of in the age of teenagers, they need to friends, they need to their parents become their friends, so they can talk, they can tell everything to their parents. But when the parents doesn't care about their children, so the teenagers feel like I need to go outside and find my own friends. So if they find a good friend, it's okay, but if they find a bad friends that influence their brain, influence their mind to involve into the drugs, that is very dangerous for them. So number 3, influence by friends. As we know, friends' influence are very strong compared to the others. At the age of the teenagers, they spend more time with their friends compared to their family. So they getting know each other very well and they getting very close. So the bad friends, we try to influence them to getting involved into the drug things, because because when they in a groups, they are very brave to do it, even there is the wrong things to do. But if they do it together with the others friends, they become brave to try the new things. And also we need to know that the bad friends, we always try to influence their friends, their other friends, to involve into the drugs together. They can tell anything that make them happy or make them agree to join the drugs things together. Number 4, lack of exposure to drugs. Everybody should know that the drugs is very dangerous. So when the teenagers doesn't expose to the danger of the drugs, so they doesn't know that the drugs is a wrong things to do and the danger things for themselves. So as a teenagers, they should involve themselves into the seminars or whatever kind of things that can expose to them about the danger of the drugs itself. Also, teenagers should know the form of the drugs the form of the drugs, the substance that make to take the drugs. Because this is important, because when they see it outside anywhere and they're outside, so they know, oh, this is the wrong thing, this is the drug things, so they can leave it and don't even close to it. Number 5 is loneliness and depression. Addiction may occur to the people who feel themselves lonely and depressed. This kind of people that lonely, or that feel themselves lonely and depressed, is kind of people that less sociable. They doesn't expose themselves to the public, and they prefer to be alone. So they take drugs to make themselves happy, to make themselves calm down for a couple of minutes. So actually, this type of illness that we need to take note, because if the teenagers have the depressed and kind of lonely feeling in their mind, in their heart, so as elders and parents, we need to take care of them. We need to ask them what's their problem, and what's important things is we need to always guide them, so they doesn't take the drugs as the solution to their problems.
We already know that the rate of drug addiction among teenagers is increasing day by day. Even be aware of the causes of this addiction occur. So do not worry, because there is a solution that will be given to someone who is addicted to drugs. There are 7 solutions that will help an addict to overcome extreme drugs addiction at an early stage. Firstly is from parents. Parents should explain in detail the dangers of drug abuse, the important and the proper way of taking it, and parents should be the best example to children, as well as always talk to children about the ill effect of drug abuse. Second solution is from government. The government, through certain bodies and sectors, should be wise to eradicate the symptoms of drugs by holding programs. They can attract the young to fill their free time to prevent them from getting caught up in the drug problem. For example, the Rakan Muda program organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sport. The next solution is tighten the law. Legislation should also be tightened by imposing heavier penalties on drug traffickers, such as imprisonment and heavier fines under the Poison Act 1952, Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. The solution number 4 is from education. Education on the danger of drugs by teachers in school is important to prevent adolescents from easily falling into the trap of drug abuse. 5 is awareness campaign. Awareness campaigns should be conducted by the government and the private sector by involving groups of teenagers who are often easy target for drug dealers. The next solution is healthy lifestyle. Adolescents also need to engage in healthy activities such as sport and recreation, so that by doing such activity, adolescents can avoid taking drugs. The last solution is counseling season. Counseling seasons are very important for every group, because not everyone is confident and easy to share problems with others. So there are 7 solutions that will help you. Love yourself and stay away from drugs abuse. Do not worry, every problem must have a solution.
In the nutshell, we have seen many factors and effects on the drugs involvement, especially among the adolescents. For example, for ourselves, if we take the drugs, we can make our body weak and can spread another diseases for the other person. If you take a look from the family, if one of the family members take the drugs, it can make a chaos to the family. We take a look from the society view. If some person that take the drugs in the society, they can make a dangerous crime like killing and stealing. So it's dangerous for the society. Let's take a look for the country. Country need to spend more money, need to spend a lot of money to prevent these cases. So we need to look the drugs as a dangerous diseases that spreading in the country, regardless of the age and the race. So we need to save the adolescent in the country because the adolescent is the heirs and the successors for the country, because the adolescents play a huge important role to the progress of the country.